Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the High Vibe Home podcast. I am back in action. Hello. It is so good to be behind the mic and be with you all once again. Oh my goodness. I did a very long podcast break this year, like the entire year. Really knocked me on my little booty. I cannot believe this whole year is gone. I think my last podcast episode was actually about the year of the snake and all this transformation we were going to be going through. And to be sitting here on the other side of it, all the skin that I have shed this year in 2025, the year of the snake, being a snake, let me tell you, I remember very distinctly recording for my Shed and Rise, which is I do an annual Feng Shui ceremony and gathering to talk about the annual energies, the Feng Shui remedies and cures and all the good things, and just like the overall forecast of the year. And I remember distinctly saying that if you were to take yourself into December of 2025, and this was back in January, and you were to look back at your January and look at your former self pre-shed, you would look around in your December and you would not recognize your life. I know that I'm not speaking to a wall when I say we have gone through a massive shedding portal. We released everything and anything that did not serve us. None of it was comfortable. None of it was cute. None of it was pretty. It was messy. It was chaotic. It was challenging. It was emotional. It was death cycles, grief cycles. Just thinking about it all, we have to take a deep breath, right? We're still here. First of all, we've landed in December. We are preparing for a new year, a new vibe, a new energy. And I'm coming back to say hello and to reintroduce myself because I am a new woman. I am a new woman now. I have let go of so many things this year. I'm not going to get into my personal life and what that looked like. I'm sure that will be coming very soon on the podcast, but I've let go of a lot. I will give a little bit of an insider. I'm in Costa Rica now, living on this beautiful piece of land, and I've kind of rooted and landed here to be here for, I don't really know, an undetermined amount of time, but I've kind of put a halt on my nomadic lifestyle because I was really craving some rootedness, some groundedness, some time to really be still and not be in constant motion. For the last 5 years, I had been traveling and really being nomadic, and it was some of the best 5 years of my life and so incredible. And just to be able to see the world in the way that I did was absolutely magical. But this year told me very clearly, what the next chapter was going to really look like. And part of that was just shedding things that no longer served me, the lifestyle, relationships, people, different environments, and really asking myself what environment is going to support me into this next version of myself that I know I'm hiding from, that I know I'm not fully stepping into, that I know I'm not fully saying yes to. And I think that is what a lot of us really navigated in this 2025 year of the snake. So we are in this descent process right now. We're not officially in the year of the fire horse yet. That officially enters our reality on February 17th. And so what happens usually when we are moving into a new year with a different zodiac, we feel this descent process. It's sort of like a threshold of transformation where we are starting to feel the remnants of the year that we were in and then the beginning stages of the year that's to come. So right now we're at this threshold where, of course, the year of the snake wants to hold on for just a little bit longer because normally we have a lunar shift, a lunar new year early in February, but this time it's coming in February 17th. So that is very interesting, but I feel like incredibly timely for what the snake year brings, is just inviting us to really now feel what it feels like to be in this new skin. What is this new skin? Who is this new woman, this new man? What are we really going to be embodying in our next versions of ourselves, in this next chapter? All the lessons that came from the snake year, how are we going to really sit and ponder, through December, through January? What can we reflect on that's going to help bring us into the new skin that we have shed? So that's kind of the energy of where we're at. And one of the things that I am coming back for on High Vibe Home Podcast is to really start to share the 2026 Year of the Horse forecast, because it is a massive shift, a big, big shift from a snake year, a wood snake year, into a young fire horse, which is a, very big initiation. When we look at the elemental cycles, every year has a energetic vibrational frequency from the actual element that we are being ruled by. And so we've been in a wood season or wood year, really, where we have been invited into growth, into expansion. But because it was a snake year, it was almost initiation into these challenging growth cycles. It was like, okay, if you ain't gonna grow and you've been saying you want to do these things, the snake is coming in with venom to literally pull out whatever is not going to serve what you've been wanting to really embody and step into and grow into. Because if you've been wanting to grow, and unfortunately, this year brought us into cycles that were uncomfortable stages of growth. It was not a pretty like, oh, I'm turning into a flower and I'm blooming. No, it was, I am going into the underworld of Kali Ma, and I am going into my shadow. I'm probably speaking to a lot of you that also had a dark night of the soul, realizing your sense of reality was completely distorted. A lot of awakenings happened this year. And so, whoa, where are we now with this new idea, this new sense of reality, this new awareness that we are feeling? Where are we now? And where do we go from here? We have a blank canvas almost, and really we do, because we're also entering, this was also this year was accompanied by a 9-year in numerology. And while in Feng Shui, we don't necessarily follow the numerology like Chaldean system, I still really love to incorporate all these different ways that we can study the energy. So we're moving from a 9 completion cycle, death, let it go, shed, release, into a 1 beginning. We're starting over. We're starting the cycle again. So we're starting into 1. So what I had said, I think at the beginning of this year, was whatever you are ready to let go of that you do not want with you the next 9 years, like patterns, habits, relationships, people, lifestyles, careers, businesses, whatever you do not want to come with you the next 9 years, had to shed. And even if you didn't want it, like you thought you wanted it, but you weren't really sure, it was almost like we didn't get to opt out of the shedding of 2025. We didn't have an opt out button. We didn't have a moment where we could say, stop, I'm out, like, peace. No, I'm not ready. It was like, you're coming in whether you like it or not. You are shedding this skin whether you like it or not. Because yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yes, it's going to be challenging. Yes, it's going to hurt like hell. Yes, it's going to cause suffering and pain. And what will come on the other side of that, which we're still not really quite clear on yet. We're still, fitting into this new skin of ours. At the end of the day, we all know we have to believe that it all happened for our highest, that it all happened to prepare us for this next year, to prepare us for this next 9 cycles that we're going to go through, because times are changing, everyone. Times are a-changing. We are in a world with so much new technology, so much new advancements. People are craving new things. We're learning in new ways. We're excelling. We are, in the wood year, we grew as a society. We grew as individuals. We grew in technology. We grew in love. We grew out of love. We just grew. We just simply grew a lot. And so now we have to make sure that we hold the pillars of our values as we move forward and bring all the lessons that we've gained and all the wisdom and the codes and the frequencies of our new technology that we're bringing in, not only the technology in the world, but the technology, the data that we have embodied and downloaded into our systems, into our codings, because we are an operating system too. And with all the advancements of technology, we've also advanced ourselves. We've advanced ourselves in our minds and our bodies and our hearts and how we're showing up in our communication and what is needed for us to feel safe, to feel whole, to feel valued, to feel seen, to feel all these things we have up leveled. Okay, so you've made it here. You have arrived, you have landed, and just pat yourself on the back because that is huge. That is massive. It's a celebration. So I will first start this out by saying I want to invite you into celebration. This end of the year, celebrate, be with loved ones, family, friends, have that extra glass of wine, really sit by the fire if you love to do ritual, throw whatever is no longer serving you into the fire. Let it all go. If you still have stuff you got to let go of, you still got time. You still have time. We have till February 17th until that year of the horse enters. So take the time that you need to really celebrate, release, shed whatever is left, whatever skin is left hanging on from this year. Because the more you celebrate, celebration is an integration. Celebration is a time for you to really go, wow, look at everything I did this year. What an incredibly challenging year this was. A really intense year, but we made it on the other side. So when you celebrate, when you move your body, when you go out dancing, when you cheers with your friends, when you write down in your journal all the accomplishments that you've made, this is you integrating your snake year. So it's very important, very important. Your assignment right now is to celebrate. And if you're not good at celebrating, find a way to celebrate. If you're not a big drinker, if you're not a big dancer, like go join a dance party, go out and find a place in nature to celebrate, do your rituals, sing your heart out. Find the way that you need to celebrate. Maybe you're going to celebrate in a whole new way because this new skin you have is like, I can't celebrate anymore in the ways that I used to. Maybe you used to go out and party, but this year you let a lot of that maybe go. And so now you're figuring out, what does celebrating look like without the drink, without the dancing? Although I hope you're still always dancing. But without the party, without the late nights, what does it look like now? What kind of celebration feels good to you? Is it taking yourself to a spa and getting a massage and just really honoring your beautiful temple, your body, because you've been through so much? What a beautiful way to celebrate. So lots of things to celebrate this year. I want you to really sit with that and think about that and bring that into, this end of the year cycle as we close out this year, and breathe and just be with your loved ones, So with that being said, we have a big shift coming in. I like to say holy shift. We are like, whenever I see big transformations in my clients' homes or students' homes, I always say, holy shift. Wow, that is incredible. Because I love transformation. I love seeing homes transform. I love seeing other people transform. I love transformation. And so speaking of transformation, we're coming into this year of the horse. What does that mean? What is it going to bring? Are we doomed again? Are we going to go through more challenges, more struggle, more heartbreak? What are we going to go through in the year of the horse? Well, I do have some good news finally. I think we actually all earn a little good news to start off with. Of course, there's always a shadow. There's always something to be mindful of and pay attention to, when we're looking at energies. But I really just want you to take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. You made it here. You are on the other side of the snake now. And what is coming is a very beautiful year. Beautiful because horses embody beauty. I literally just spent the last hour outside with horses. I'm surrounded by horses here where I'm at in Costa Rica, and they've been coming to me. I remember, I think I recorded the last podcast where I shared how snakes were coming to me, as I was talking about the year of the snake. And now I'm on land with horses, and I've just been really sitting with them and being with them and listening to their frequencies, because they have some very wise ancient codes. And the first really download I receive from them is just how much they value beauty, how much they value when things feel beautiful. And I feel like just by saying that, it feels so simple. It feels so like, oh my God, it's so much simpler. Beauty. The snake loves the darkness, the shedding process, not necessarily looking beautiful, but even on the other side of that shedding, of course, there's beauty, but the horse leads us into the beautiful aspects of life. And so what that looks like in a year is more opportunities to create beauty in our lives. I think if you led the entirety of next year with that intention alone, that you were just simply going to make 2026 your most beautiful year yet, I really believe that you would have one of the most successful years of your life. Because when we embody beauty, when we have an intention to embody beauty, it's a powerful vibration of love. It's a powerful vibration of joy, of bliss. It's up on the highest scale of emotional, frequency. And so when we just have a simple, maybe it's not so complicated, like I'm going to shed my ancestral trauma and wounding and all the things we've gone through the snake. I'm going to have a dark night of the soul and be flipped upside down and end up in a whole new reality. Now we get to soften. Now we get to breathe. Now we get to really just simply lead a life of beauty. Because those of you that went through that initiation, those of you that went through the portal of initiation of the death cycles, the grief cycles, the dark night of the soul, now we have a new sense of appreciation for life. And now we can humbly say that life can be really beautiful. I don't need to make my life so hard, actually. And that's kind of part of, some of my breakthroughs for 2025, and realizing that I really loved, I had loved, because we've broken that story. In my past, I really loved chaos. I really loved the cycles of challenge and making my life really hard, when really life doesn't have to be that hard. It can be simple. We just make it hard. We really love to make it hard. We look at everything as such a complicated thing. So simplicity, beauty, grace, this yin feminine energy from the horse. But the thing is, we're moving into a young horse, a young fire horse. So with that being said, we're kind of going to have this more fast momentum type of year, where I know that maybe this year felt like, whoa, it went by really fast. Well, the horse moves with intention. So the more that you focus on your intention, the faster it will manifest. That's what I mean by fast. It's not necessarily like we're moving through with speed. We're moving through with intention, with, moving with the herd, knowing where to go. We're grazing the land softly, and then we're moving in the direction that we want to go with intention. So this horse year has some energy that we're bringing in, not only beauty, grace, and, peace and just softness, but also we are learning how to adapt into this new world of AI, of technology, of separation, of division, of maybe we have a whole new home, maybe we have a whole new reality. We're just learning to adapt now and like what's next, right? So I have some predictions that I'd like to share with you to really tap into more of what this horse energy is really going to bring. And all of this is really rooted in what the foundational energy of horse brings. So just to kind of bullet point a few things here, the horse brings their intuition right at the center. So the stronger you listen to your intuitive inner guidance, that inner compass, the more you listen to it, the further you're going to get in life for 2025. It will never lead you astray the more you listen. The horse also brings this boldness, this real strong, bold sense of self. So after going through the shedding process, now you have more of an idea of who you are. So the more you step into that boldness and that strong sense of self to be seen in the world, to step out into the spotlight, really the more you step out into the spotlight this coming year, 2026, the greater chances you will not only reap the benefits of the lessons of what happens when you put yourself in a leadership role or just put yourself in the spotlight, but also you will be seen. You will be seen and you will be loved and admired. So this is your year. This is your year to step out. It's also a year where we embrace our magic unapologetically. So for those of you that have been kind of hiding in the broom closet or not really ready to express your mysticism, your magic, your uniqueness, your boldness, your rawness, your passion, your all the things that make you uniquely you, this is the year where you embrace it. Embrace it. Like, who cares if you light your Nag Shampa and your dad's coming over and he's always making comments about it and, oh, you're just such a hippie. Who cares? Own it. Own your magic. Own your mysticism. Own your freaking power. This is the year to step into that fully. The horse is also bringing this momentum, this movement, this forward direction. So it's not going to be good to stay focused on the past, really, like what happened in the year of the snake. Don't dwell on it. Don't go back and be like, well, did I make the right choice? Did I do the right thing? Should I have quit my job? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. The more that you dwell on the past energy, like that's literally a whole new cycle that ended. So stay focused on the forward motion. Stay focused on your goal. Maybe it's a good idea to create a really big, bold vision statement, a clear mission statement, a clear why statement. Why are you moving forward? Why are you stepping one foot in front of the other each day? Like, why are you, what this goal that you're working towards? Why? The more that you come back to your why and stay in the forward momentum process, the more success, not just success, but the more momentum you're going to gain in that process. You'll have a more clear path forward by staying on that trajectory. And then, the horse also brings in these new ideas. So a lot of times when horse years come in, we feel this like renewed sense of, like there's a fresh energy in the air. And that can bring in new opportunities. It can bring in new ideas into your mind. Like, oh my gosh, I never thought I'd think of this before, or like that I could execute it in the way that I would now. But now that you know everything that you know and all the wise, lessons that you've learned, now you feel unstoppable. So the other really cool thing that horses bring are a lot of synchronicities, because horses have this ability to create an electromagnetic field around them that also syncs up with whatever's around them, like on a very big scale. So they also sync up together when they're in herds and packs. So it's actually going to be better the more connections you make with others, because the connect, this like web of connection that we are co-creating when we maybe share an idea with somebody, it's going to magnify, it's going to be amplified, it's going to be like you're shining a spotlight on it. So synchronicities are going to be kind of a little fun thing that we're going to be experiencing. This new sense of aliveness and breaking new ground, on maybe you're building a house, building an idea, building a business, something new is building. It's a really good year for that. And just new opportunities. So entirely different frequency of the year of the horse. And we're starting to sort of feel it. We're starting to go, okay, wow, like what is this new energy I'm feeling? I'm feeling better, but I'm also kind of like, whoa, what happened? Are we going to go backwards? Are we going to go back into the pit of doom? No. And how do we navigate this next year? So the predictions I have, prediction number 1 is we are going to experience and desire more in-person gatherings. So like analog hobbies are going to come back online. We want to get offline. We want to get more in life. We want to go back to DIY. We want to go back to typewriters. We want to go back to making clothing with our hands. We want to paint. We want to just use our hands and really get back to hobbies that aren't scrolling on the internet, and I think for someone like myself who has a business that is online, I'm already starting to think, well, how can I take my online business more in person? How can I get back to, maybe bringing the community to more in-person gatherings, retreats, day workshops, or even more Feng Shui in-person consultations. So that's something to think about if you are a business owner that also is working on an online business. How can you also bring in a in-person component? That's going to be really important. And also just kind of like why that is when we think about horses, they really thrive in herd environments. They don't do well alone. And so this is the year to really say yes to expanding your social network, to getting out there, to going to networking events, to going on retreats, to going on different vacations that let you see the world and be with others. It's really important for you to get out there and be more in real life, IRL. Okay. And my next year of the horse prediction is going back to the world of beauty. Is the beauty world that we need to create around us is so important. So maybe beautifying your home, bringing in plants, bringing in beautiful colors, making it just feel beautiful and decadent. That is going to be at the top priority of so many of us. We need to be surrounded by beauty. And it's almost like maybe even going a little more luxurious in that sense. So maybe instead of like having a bunch of knickknacks, but like removing them, clearing them, being more minimal, being more intentional about what we're bringing into the space. And it just feels like luxurious, maybe more bubble baths. And like instead of just a bubble bath, bringing in rose petals and essential oils and really making it more ritualistic. It's a really good year for renovations in a home. So if you are thinking about adding more to the space, doing a renovation that's going to bring more beauty into your life, this is definitely the year to do it. However, if you want to get a one-on-one consultation and look to make sure you don't do it in a section or a Bagua area, the Bagua map that isn't beneficial for your home, we can definitely look at that. I do pre and post construction consultations for the new year. Just getting a sip of my tea. And finally, we have the reason why horses just love beauty. Horses love beauty and grace. So just remembering what I said to kind of kick this off is horses are this embodiment of this. They're really like, even though there's males, if they feel so feminine, they feel so graceful, they feel so soft and beautiful, and they just love being surrounded by beauty. So really embody that into this year. And my third prediction is, get ready for it. I know you're all going to love this, it is a unicorn year. Because come on, what are horses missing? Horses have a third eye. They're just missing their little unicorn horn, right? So why can't we claim this to be our unicorn year? I don't know. I'm claiming it. I am literally claiming this year be my unicorn year. So what does it mean to step into a unicorn year? A unicorn year is you living unapologetically yourself. That's it. It's just being a unicorn. It's being different. It's being a weirdo. It's being magical. It's being a witch. It's being a shaman. It's being a mystic, whatever you define as weird, or just being yourself. The person who loves being mystical, but also loves, technology and nerding out on the latest AI trend. Like, I don't know. It's just your year to be unapologetically you. That is what, to me, being a unicorn is. And I've always been the unicorn of the family. I've been like, it's kind of like the ugly duckling, but why do we want to be ugly ducklings? We want to be unicorns. So going from a snake year, it feels so good to say that, because as soon as you claim it and you say, yes, I claim my unicorn year, you are saying yes to being unapologetically yourself. And what comes with that is a lot more ease and grace, because you're just being you. It's so much easier to just be ourselves than try to be someone else. But yeah, we do it. Everybody, we're trying to be like Sally, like Jill, like John, like whoever we're trying to be like. We just actually have permission this year to just be ourselves. The more you shine in yourself, the more you step into your radiance and your uniqueness and own who you are, the easier life gets. Because you're no longer stuck in comparison, judging, or all the other things. You're just owning you. And you also find your people. The more unique you express yourself, you find your tribe, you find your people of weirdos. So that's what the unicorn year brings. So you get to claim it. You get to own it. This is the year where nothing stands in your way, as long as you're willing to be fully, unapologetically yourself. And my next prediction is that we're going to see a really big boom in travel. So if you are, the thing is with the snake year is we have gone through such a process of shedding that we now need to move. We need to move our bodies. We need to get out there. We need to see the world maybe. And so travel is going to be big. And I don't necessarily mean travel like to places that are known. I'm kind of seeing it be a travel off the beaten path type year, because we need to kind of still be in some solitude in some ways to really integrate and be like really bringing in the new codes that we've really learned from all the lessons of the year of the snake. So going with a group is good, but you also are going to need some time to be in solitude. So like retreats are perfect for that. Researching a lot on ways that you can travel a little more off the beaten path. Maybe it's even somewhere you live, but you've just never gone to that amazing hike or that beautiful mountain or the place that everybody's talking about all the time. You just never gone. Get on the road, baby. Take the flight. Like, this is the year. Plan maybe your dream vacation. This is the perfect year to plan your dream vacation. Start a bank account and put money in there. This is the year for that. Okay. So get your body moving too. Like, join a dance class, dance in the mornings, get your body moving. We went through a big shedding. So your body needs to release it and not hold on to all that energy that you have been shedding. It's really important you move this year going into a 2025 year of the horse. So what can you do to invite more movement into your day? Maybe it's just walking, hiking, just doing a little shimmy shake in the morning. What is it? Bring in movement into your day. So those are my 4 top predictions for the year of the horse and what we're going to be seeing. Just a little recap there. More in-person connection, a need for beauty everywhere we look. Your unicorn year is here. And lastly, an increase in travel. So those are my top 4 predictions. And if you're loving this and you're like, yes, more of this, please, I am hosting Ritual 2026. So I mentioned my original program, Shed and Rise, or I do a yearly Feng Shui report and gathering and class. It's almost like been a master class type style. But this year, I wanted to do something different because I've been doing these classes now since the Year of the Rabbit, which was 5-6 years ago. And I want to do something different because every time we do these classes, I always feel like there's just not enough time. There's not enough time. I'm cramming down all this information and it just feels like it's always a lot of information. And I know that you all love it, but we're going to evolve together and we're going to do a 30-day ceremony, a ritual where every single week we're going to be meeting on Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and we're going to meet to do the first ritual. You'll be doing these different rituals, and really it's this like overarching ceremony for 30 days where you'll be implementing the Feng Shui remedies and cures throughout this ceremony cycle. So instead of like just getting the information and I send you on your way, we're actually going to be doing the remedies and cures together simultaneously with this beautiful ritual that you'll be doing to bring in this Year of the Horse energy, create the beauty, set your space up for the predictions that I'm kind of bringing in with beauty, with more in-person gatherings. So maybe hosting more at your home, maybe also placing things in your space that reflect the travel that you desire to take in this next year. We're going to get really clear on that. But more importantly, we are going to be setting your space up to be unapologetically yourself. Your unicorn year also gets to be reflected in your environment. So that is what Ritual 2026 is going to bring in. We are going to be stepping boldly into ourselves through mirroring that in our environment. Many of the biggest mentors of our time teach us that you are defined, like your success is defined by the environment that you're in. So we are going to set your environment up for success for 2026. And this starts on January 8th. So all the information will be in the show notes to join. We have pre-sale going right now. It's a 111 to join, $111 to join. And it is a 30-day ceremony with a little bonus ritual that we do, sealing the wealth at the end right before February 17th. So there'll be a little bonus ritual class that we'll do together. But more details on that are all in the show notes. You can join at any time up until January 8th. And we might keep the container open. I might close it. We'll see how we feel. But right now, you can join for $111 to join this ritual to welcome the Year of the Horse, to step boldly into your unapologetic self and create a beautiful home. Because it just gets to be that simple next year, is just being surrounded by beauty. So I'd love to see you there. You're officially invited. And we're going to close this podcast out with just some key dates that I want you to remember and how to transition. Not necessarily the dates, but like how do we transition into the Year of the Horse? So December, you are resting, you are integrating. Let yourself do nothing. Let your home be messy. You have full permission from me. Just tell everybody. Nixie told me I could keep my home messy in December. Tell your husband, tell your kids, they have full permission to be messy. This is the month for that. Let yourself do nothing. I mean, of course, if you're having family over, that's fine. You want to have a clean home. I get it. But don't rush December. This is the final shedding phase. So just let yourself release it. Let yourself be in the integration period. Okay. Then when we move into January, we're going to begin preparing. That's why we start Ritual 2026 on January 8th. We're preparing the space and the new energy that's for coming. We start it with a space clearing ritual to do in the home. And this is when we start to begin the Feng Shui adjustments to make sure that they are set up for when we enter the new year in February 17th. So when we start going into February, by that point, the Year of the Horse on February 17th officially begins. And this is your energetic new year. This is the Lunar New Year. This is much more potent than January 1st because, of course, we're just changing. The way I like to see it is like we change the numerology in the year shifts, like 2025 being a 9. We're going into 2026, which is a 1 year. So that's the change that we feel. And then on the lunar new year, on February 17th this year, we feel the zodiac change. So we feel the transition from the snake into the horse. So the 30 days leading up to February 17th are really, really important because that's the time you're preparing. And then once you're prepared, you really don't have to do much. Once your remedies, your cures, your home is all set up for success, of course, throughout the rest of the year, we can do like some adjustments, but we're really just preparing your space for your year of being unapologetically yourself. It's kind of a mouthful, right? But I really am so excited for this next year. It does feel really, really good. I know that there's also the shadow side. There's also things we're going to face. Life will still throw us some things, but we'll talk more about what that's going to look like in Ritual 2026. So please head on over to the show notes. Join that. If you're new here to High Vibe Home Podcast, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. If you love this episode, share it out with your friends, your family, your besties. Everybody needs to know what's coming for 2026. This is it. We are entering a whole new era. You are a whole new you, and there's no turning back. There is no turning back right now. So thank you all for being here. I'm so excited, so honored to be back behind the mic. More podcast episodes are coming to your ears with Nixie Marie here on the High Vibe Home Podcast. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. And don't forget to keep that chi flowing. All right, everyone. I'll see you soon.